Hello and welcome to RPR GP2 round 13. We're at the Circuit of the Americas today for, I think we've got 3 rounds left after this one. No, 2 after this one. So we've got Abu Dhabi and an undetermined track to finish the season off, as we removed Russia from the calendar. So whilst everyone gets their session started, I'll wait and see what the weather's going to do. Hopefully someone will give us a update on the comments. I'm not going to jinx it either this week. So as normal, can't even get my words out tonight. As normal, we run full qualifying. So qualifying 1 will see the bottom 5 drivers of places 20, 19, 18, 17 and 16 be eliminated. Quali 2 will see 15th through 11th eliminated, and then the all-important pole shootout in Q3. So let's get the detail on why this disappears every week. So we've got a couple outlets. I'm trying to do this off the wrong controller, so if I don't get the right button, I do apologise. Let's ride on board with Mrs. Carl. She makes her way around her outlet. Looks like pint size in front. 2 Alpha Tauris, and I believe it's an Alpine in the middle of the Alpha Tauris. So what is currently the only American track on the game. Next year will be added. There'll be 2 tracks in the US. We'll have Miami added, and then 2023 we'll also have Vegas added. So we'll have 3 races in the US in 23. It'll be interesting to see how they deal with the logistics of that, whether they are going to do similar to they've done this year and crisscross the oceans in their effort to be carbon neutral, but whilst we got jet fuel going backwards and forwards from Europe to the US back to Europe, we'll wait and see how the calendar actually lines out for that year. So Mrs. Carl now coming around the final corner to start her first time lap. Run up the hill into turn 1. Getting the braking right here is absolutely critical to get that apex and get good exit out and down the hill. Fast section of the track now is modelled on the Maggots and Beckett's section at Silverstone. This track is just an amalgamation of some of the best bits of various tracks around the world. I'm paying no attention to sector times, and my delayed stream isn't helping either because it looks pixelated, so I can't really see it. Coming down the DRS straight now. Let's have a Haas in front of, I think that's pint size in front of, I'm sure we'll get out of the way without causing too much of an issue, as he does that perfectly there. I did see the sector time, but I didn't see it quick enough to actually read it as he went through sector 2. We've got a 5-place grid penalty for Decky for a collision with Johnny Stokes. Frenzy is already retired in the pit, so Mrs. record. Mrs. Carl sets the initial lap time of a 1:34.7, which is a second and a half faster than the actual real life record at the track. This is currently a 1:36.1 set by Charles Leclerc in 2019. And Island Boy takes a second out of Mrs. Carl with a 1:33.7. DXT Matty comes across with 1:33.8 to take him second currently. That's next across the line. That's one button. So that goes into fifth on a 1:36.2. Miss Craig doing a 1:35.0. Lewis going into the pits. Expect to see Lewis retire in the pits as he has got a quali ban, but is allowed to. There he goes. Has actually got himself disqualified from the session, although he was on a quali ban, so that won't make any effect. Crooksy's done a 1:48. I'm assuming he must have hit the traffic there. Abandoned in his initial lap. Scotty comes across in fifth on a 1:35.3. Height size completes his lap on a 1:40.1. Hepburn comes up to third with a 1:33.8. So currently the top three are separated by less than a tenth. If everyone's pace continues like this, it should make for an interesting race. Look at this. Ferrari are currently sitting second in the Constructors' Championship. Doing very quick maths, there's 120 points maximum available for the Constructors. I will pull up the standings actually so I can see what the actual state is, what the gap is currently. Carney Stokes has been confirmed as the drivers' champion following the race last week. So congratulations to Connie again. And I would like to make a repeat of last season where he got the double, the drivers and the constructors. My secondary commentator, Lewis, who's abandoned us to go on holiday, would say he was a part of that, but we all know that Johnny carried Lewis all the way through that season. So this is set a 1:33.5 on the medium tyre, and Hepburn just beat that on the soft. But that's an impressive time from Lister in comparison to the soft times around him. So I'll pull up the constructors. So currently Ferrari are in second to Aston Martin, and there was a 59-point gap. So there's a maximum of 40 points available in today's race if the driver get the 1-2 finish and get fastest lap and pole. Don't believe... Oh, I can't do maths quick in my head anymore. It's possible for Aston Martin to take constructors today, mathematically at least. We'll have to wait and see what happens at the end of the race. like that. James is just coming out of the kits. Hobo has made it. Oh, I'm glad to see him make it into Q1. Stay on board with Hobo as he goes down the DRS straight now. Got a few cars behind him who hopefully won't cause him to need to get out of the way so he can concentrate on his lap. So a decent gap behind him so he won't be causing anyone to be held up as he comes round in the final sector now. Looking like a nice tidy lap here from Hobo. We're hoping to repeat his podium performance of last weekend. And he opens his account with a 134.5, which takes him second as Johnny crosses the line with a 132.9, 6 tenths faster than Hepburn in second. And likewise 6 tenths faster than Lister, but Lister was on the medium tyre and we do know that the medium is slower. Don't know what the deficit is between the two though, off the top of my head. Island Boys retired in the pits, feeling confident his 133.7 will be enough to see him through into the next session of qualifying. So as it stands at the moment, we'll be losing Dara, Frenzy and Lewis, so that takes it 17th, so we'll be losing one more driver at the end of this session. What's happened to Royland? Royland just retired in the pits without setting a time. By the looks of that then, James and Decky just need to get a time on the board and they'll be safely through to Q2. Matt's saying no quality for him tonight. He needs a bit of a rest after the race they've just done round Portugal. That looked like an absolute handful. The car parked just on the edge of track for the entire race, and surprisingly the game didn't throw a safety car or disqualify the car from being parked up. Okay, it only had 3 wheels because one decided, literally as the commentary stream flipped through the camera to it, its front left just decided it didn't want to be attached to the car anymore. It ground to a halt just on the edge of the track. I think quite a few people had fueled that race assuming there'd be a safety car, and of course when you do that, no safety car. So James has set a 133.2. Take him second in this session, that will safely see him through. Decky is currently in the pits. Who we got on track? Crooksy's on another outlap. Zodiac's invalidated. Craig's in the pits. Scotty's just coming round to start another lap now, so we'll ride on board with Scotty. I'll stick with the spectator cameras. gets the apex into turn 1 beautifully. Good exit down the hill. Into the flat out twisty section. Track limits here are a typical Codemasters affair. They will bite you just like that. This still pushing, let's see, wait till the end of sector 2. Looks like it's still going for it. But we'll drop back to Crooksy now, who's just starting this next lap. And Decky is on his outlap now. Unfortunately, Crooksy's invalidated his lap as well. Oh. Excuse me for yawning. Zodak's decided to come out for another run. Scott has invalidated this attempt as well. Is Crooksy going to go for another? It does look like he's going for another stab at it. He's got Decky little distance away, so Decky would have got a benefit of a toe down the start finish straight there. Let's see if Crooksy can make it through the S6 and without too many issues and without invalidating this time. I think it was this corner that he invalidated on previously. Welcome back, Hobo. Glad you made it in. Hope you weren't too rude as you kicked the family out so you could get on and race. So, Crooksy's just coming down the back of the RS straight now. He's 8 tenths up on his previous time with a 103.8. Oh no, I skipped the wrong way. Trying to see what Decky's time was for comparison. Turn 18, final turn 19. Another corner where track limits can bite you. And he crosses the line on a 135 dead, and Decky gets a 134.6. Scott is invalidated again. Zodak comes through. He's 2.1 seconds up on his time. So that's going to put him on about a 134.1, which should see him move up into about 8th or 9th. And turn 18 and final turn 19. I keep saying 18 and 19, I'm not actually 100% sure they are. So Zodak gets a 134.5. Puts him 10th at the end of the session. Oh no, it's not. It's turn 19 and 20. It's the final corner. and I spy rain. Are we going to have a wet Q2? If anyone on the comments wants to let me know what the weather plan is, that'd be good to know. So at the end of that session, we are losing Dara, Frenzy, Lewis, MW, Moyland, and Pint Size Geezer. Mrs. Moyland saying it's going to snow. It's Codemasters. I really won't put it past it. One to keep an eye on though is Decky, who unfortunately picked up a 5th-place penalty for a collision with Sonny Stokes. So that's going to affect him if he makes it into wherever he ends up in qualifying. That's going to drop him back down the grid. And now I'm praying we don't have the same issues we had last week with someone forgetting to press a button so we can advance to Q2. Come on, game. Click advance, man. Ah, finally. We make it through to Q2. It should be interesting then. If the race is going to be dry, let's say it's wet through Q2, everyone will have free choice of tyres. So first out on track is James out. Ride round, followed James round for his first lap, see what time he can put on the board. He's feeling his way round now, finding where the grip is. Now they're on to wet running. This is not one of the nicest tracks to do in the wet either. Or at least for me, I find the S section an absolute nightmare. So James just comes through sector 3 now, 17 to 18, although it all feels like one corner. This is turn 19, where track limits will get you on the outside if you're not careful. Into the final turn, turn 20, and on the run now, up the hill to turn 1. Looking forward to the start there. Turn 1 always seems to produce an incident or two, and certainly make for an interesting race. So James using higher gear there to avoid the torque and keep the traction as he goes through the S's. Running down now into turn 11 before a kilometre long DRS straight. Although this week we have no DRS active during this session. And we also have no lap data up because I forgot to put it on. So it looks like everyone's decided it is Inter's weather. James does a 110 through sector 2. Round 16, 17 and 18 into 19 now, and invalidates. It was in the middle of the track when that flashed up, invalidation. So track limits here are absolutely atrocious. I wish the quality of my stream would look better. I hope it don't look at this ropey to everyone. It's better. So, times on the board while I was busy looking at Discord. Matty is set at 146.2. Sonny Stokes has done a 146.4. Hobo's done a 146.7, put him in third. Hepburn's a 146.7 in fourth. Lister's done a 147.5. Mrs. Cole's done a 148.1. Zodak a 148.7. Island Boys just jumped up to 5th on a 146.9. Crooksy is currently sitting in 9th on a 150.6. As James is just coming round to have another stab at 19. And looks to be going for a bit of a Texas drift there. And decides enough is enough and is bailing into the pits. Give them out that. Let's follow Scotty round now. He looks to get his first time on the board. Into the penultimate corner now. A little bit of a slide from the back end on the way out of 19. Got it corrected well before 20 and crosses the line with a 146.8 as Lister's just improved and taken over a second out of Matty to take pole currently on a 145.1. We've got that's a crookie coming across. Missed. Didn't quite catch his time there. There's a bit of queue of cars making their way through the S section. That's Scarito out of the second as he's just lost it on the way out of 18 and it's thrown him into the barrier. Hopefully they'll get that car cleared away so the yellow flag won't affect the guys coming around behind them. Well, yellow flags don't actually affect anything in quality in the game. Hepburn now pushing to try and improve on his 146.5. Doesn't improve on that lap. We're looking at Scotty. Who's not going to improve on his lap either. Johnny Stokes is diving in the pits. Lister's coming into the pits. So that crosses the line but didn't improve either. Craig now starting a lap. Fast approaching James Howe behind him. But James will be eager to get it. Valid time on the board now as he's currently the only driver not to have set a time. Hopefully the weather conditions haven't deteriorated. It looks like James has a moment on the way out of turn 9. But handily the camera must be using the Monaco race direction as it decided to cut to a view where you could see absolutely nothing of what was happening over the crest of the hill. Sat holding breath to see if he made it over or not. So he's got the fuel for another run. And I think looking at his sector times he's going to need that other run. The rain does look to be getting slightly heavier, so hopefully this doesn't hurt James and he can make it through to Q3. Big moment on the way out of turn 20 there. Got on the power. So that lap took him 12th with a 148.4. As Craig gets out of the way nicely so he can continue through. into a more competitive time. Keep an eye on his sector times now, as he's just coming up to the end of sector 1. He's currently a 10th and a half up on his previous time. This is where he had his moment before. So got through there a lot cleaner this time. Keep it in the track limits. Turn 11 nicely. Now the long straight. It's not out fully straight. It's got a slight kink to the right hand side. Heavy braking into turn 12. Right hander 13. Island Boy feeling confident on his 146.1. It's retired in the pits. And I completely missed the second sector time. I also missed Scotty clumping up into second on a 146.0. Maybe next season I'll get better at this commentary stuff. Game set a 146.3, but he'd invalidated on the exit of turn 20, which I think is going to hurt him. I don't think he's got the fuel. He's not got the fuel to get another lap in. And that invalidation has also invalidated this lap. So even if he did have the fuel for one more run, he won't be able to do it. He's not got time to get a pit stop in. As it looks like we've lost Zodak. So let's come back to Crookie now, currently sitting in 13th, just coming to finish his out lap. That's Hepburn coming into the pits. Crookie into turn 1, sounded like he had a little bit of a lock up on the way in. See what he's doing at the end of sector 1 on his split time. Needs to find a couple of seconds. It's currently a second down on his time, so I don't think we'll be seeing Crookie. He's bailed on the lap. And released Hobo. Why is Hobo in the Williams? Hobo should be in the Red Bull. Oh, I'm assuming the game just put him into... the wrong car when he joined. Squito's supposed to be in the Williams. I'm confused now. Results won't be affected by drivers being in the wrong cars though. Just confuse me more during the race. So we have definitely lost James out at the end of this session. Crookie's definitely out, so Decky needs to improve, and he certainly won't be doing that spin out of turn 19. Did well to keep it out of the wall. So Scorito had taken the Red Bull seat by mistake. He also broke your car as well, Hobo. We're just waiting now for the last couple of cars to come back to the pits. So at the end of that session, we're losing Scorito, QGC, James Al, Decky, and for some reason, Zodak. He took damage. That's right, I missed that one. So it'll be a 9-driver shootout for pole then. But saying Lister's got some serious pace around this track. It's now making me want to go back and look at previous visits, see how many finishes have been round here in previous seasons. Oh, it may take a while trying to find the track. Abbey Spa, as it looks like a very wet Q3 as well. Spain. USA, there we are. So when we last visited this track was October last year, and surprise, it was a wet quali then as well. So Lister qualified on full wets last season on a 148.3. Now looks like everyone is going out on inters. So he qualified second and he finished the race. No, he didn't finish the race. I can't remember what. So we've got most people out on their out lap, the exception of Connie Stokes, Matty and Hepburn. I say most people, we've got 2/3 of the grid out on their out laps. So we'll just follow. Scotty round as he makes his way round to start the first time lap Q3. So we'll run up the hill to turn 1. Does look wet and immediately invalidates his lap, so we'll drop back and follow Hobo. put the pressure on Hobo now. Going for the weight saving effort, or just doesn't want his visor steaming up in the wet, so he's decided not to wear his helmet. Not really the example we expect a father to be setting to his son, but looks like Scott is trying to stay nice and close to Hobo so we can get the toe on the start finish straight. A little extra pace to recover from his first time lap, and no, Scott is backed out, or backed off quite a bit now. Hobo coming up to turn 20 now to set the first time of Q3, and does a 146.5. Next on the grid is Hepburn, who's on an outlap. It looks like it'll be Craig. So the second one to set their time. Kick of oversteer on the exit. There was a 148.2 to take him second. Lister coming to finish his lap. I'm assuming he must have invalidated there. Yeah. So Island Boy does a 154. This is Carl now coming around the final corner. Nice and tidy. 148.2 to sit her in provisional third. Johnny Stokes, I believe, is just starting his lap now. So we'll drop back to Scott is invalidated again. So track limits here are horrible. I'm hoping that's something that's improved in the 22 game. That and all these lobby bugs. So Hobo's improved his time at the front, is now done on 146.1. Hepburn coming across the line with a 146.5 to take him up to second. Scotty, we know, is just starting his next lap. Craig now looking to improve, and he does. He takes 1.3 out of his time to put him on a 146.8. So keeps him in third, but improves his position there. As Island Boy crosses the line with a 145.8 to take provisional pole. That's Matty into the pits. This is Carl into the pits. Back to Johnny Stokes now as he's coming around to finish his lap. Keeps it nice and tidy, staying away from the curbs. And does a 145.8. 300ths faster than Island Boy. So only 300ths in that. Scotty currently showing a purple sector 2. He's managed to keep this lap from invalidating so far. Carl apparently in the pits is putting on a set of softs. Is it meant to dry up at the end of quali? So Scotty keeps it in track limits that lap and goes fastest with the 1:45.5. That's 3/10 up on Johnny Stokes. Is anyone going to come out on a set of softs? Because the rain in the pits does look to be getting lighter. Could this be one of those sessions where if you are literally the last one out and you risk it on a set of soft tyres, you're going to benefit massively? There's Johnny Stokes now does a 1:44.9, so we're in the 44s now. The times are starting to drop, but it doesn't look like there's a dry line appearing. If we've got to come and finish at that, oh, the ball's invalidated. Scotty. Can Hobo improve? Can he find another half a second? He can find more than half a second. He finds 7/10, takes him back up to third on a 1:45.3. 2/10 clear of Scotty's time. Hobo's out. Unlucky Hobo. Mrs. Cole stayed in the pits on her soft tyres. Don't think it's quite ready for softs. It's Craig's invalidated his coming lap. He's got time to get round and get another lap in. Burn looking to improve. Lister's on an outlap. Mrs. Cole is going for an outlap. Caught the exit of turn 1, that looks very precarious. Come back to Matty, see how he finishes his lap out. Come through the end of sector 2 with a split of a 109.8. It's, according to the games, a purple sector. How true that is, I don't know. Jump to Scotty. 109.6 from Scotty. So the track is definitely getting faster. You're going to want to be the last person out on track, I think, to get the best time as Hepburn comes out of the final corner, crosses the line, a 1:45.5. Matty jumps up to second with that lap, a 1:44.9, and still has time to complete his next lap. Scotty coming across the line, comes up to third with a 1:45.1. Island Boy is not going to have time to complete his outlap. What have we got left on a lap? Johnny Stokes is massively down on his time through sector 2, so let's go back to this, let's see if he can improve. It's a good result here. 109.0 sector 2 split, so that's a big chunk of time off of Scotty's time. So it should be a good lap for Lister if he can keep it together through sector 3. Keep it tidy. So coming across the line now, this is going to be massive improvement. Took 4 seconds off his time now, 1:43.8 to give him provisional pole. So only Matty can possibly challenge for pole now. He's not going to do it. It does improve though. It goes to a 1:44.7 to take him second. Scotty's not pushing. It burns 2 minutes, so no. Wait for the results to come up now. So your starting grid for tonight's race: Lister takes pole, Matty in second, Johnny Stokes in third, Scotty in fourth, Island Boy in fifth, Hobo in sixth, Hepburn in seventh, Craig in eighth, and Mrs. Carl in ninth. So that's given Lister the pole position point. Which will come in handy for the constructors' battle. Now needs his teammate to make his way through the pack and join him at the front if at all possible. At least it looks like a dry race. So the drivers will be doing their strategies now. Everyone will have a free choice of tires, so it'll be interesting to see who starts on what. So Lister's opted to start on the softs. I think he wants that blistering pace to try and pull a gap. Matty on the mediums, and you've got Johnny, Scotty and Island Boy all on the softs. Hobo's gone for the mediums, Hepburn on the softs, Craig and Mrs. Carl on the mediums, Zodak on the softs, James Owls opted to start on the hards, Cooksey on the mediums, Scarito on the hards, Punt Size Geezer is on the softs, and then Moyland, Decky and Lewis on the mediums. Frenzy on the hards, and Dara on the mediums. Just invite Frenzy back in. So it's predicting a 2-stop strategy. But with safety cars, it can be done on a 1-stop, I believe. I think James and Squirrel will struggle off the start on the hards. It'll take a few laps to actually get up to temperature, so they might drop back through the grid. I think Friends is having I don't know if I'm going to be able to get who I am. The phone is still connected. So now as we're waiting for the lights, and I've lost all sound. It's lights out and away we go. Sonny Stokes looks to have had a bit of a poor start there. Lester's managed to keep the lead. Doesn't look like there's a few people running wide through turn 1, but not too much contact. So they'll make their way through the S section. Side's having a spin there on the exit of turn 11. Don't cook your tyres. So Matt is kept within half a second of Lister on this opening lap. And this will be looking to try and break that gap. Get out of the 1 second DRS range. I think Matty may come under pressure from Hepburn and Johnny behind. Does seem to be a bit of a train forming there, although everyone is still quite close through the grid. No major gaps opening up as Moylan makes a move on his teammate tonight, James Howe. Moylan on the faster tyres, I think going to possibly let him pass for terms of the better strategy. Lewis has made good progress, made it up to 10th from his starting position. A few moves been missed there. Dara's gained up to 13th. Lister's now broken DRS and has pulled nearly a 2-second gap over Matty. So he really is making the most of those soft tyres and the clean air. Matty's got Hepburn within half a second behind. A few more battles going on down the grid. Dara making a move on James Howe there. James suffering on those hard tyres, but closing the gap back down. So can we try up the inside? It settles for staying 13th at the moment. Hepburn and Johnny Stokes have got past Matty at the front. So Matty's now dropped down to 4th place. Hepburn and Johnny will be looking to try and close that gap back up to Lister now. He'll find himself coming under pressure now from Scotty behind. Goes for the Island Boy going for a look up the inside of Scotty into turn one. We've got the two Alpines right behind the Haas there. So that picks up the first penalty of the race. So Craig can gain anything on James here. James is going for a move around the outside of Mrs. Cole. Gets the DRS as well. Help him open that gap back up. Sonny Soak's getting past Hepburn, so Sonny's now in second and looks to be taking time out of Lister. He's managing to keep with Hepburn now, he's only 0.6 behind. And DRS will help. He's got Scotty right behind him, also in the DRS. There is a DRS train here from second back to sixth. Sonny's getting the gap down to Lister now to around the 2 second mark. He's broken out of the DRS of Hepburn. It's going to leave Hepburn vulnerable to the DRS from behind, as it looks like Mackey's just putting himself in Hepburn's mirrors. No, he's there. Lewis and Moyland look to be having a little battle here. So let's stick with this one, see if Moyland can get the run back on him with the DRS into turn one. Looks like we've got pint size just coming out of the pits as they run up to turn one. Hopefully that's not going to cause too many issues for anyone. I think he has managed to get the keep out of the way. Collected to Bollard but kept out of the way of everyone. Johnny Stokes is now a second and a half behind Lister at the front. And he's dropped a little bit of time to Hepburn. James Ells has picked up a penalty. So Moylan should have a run on Lewis here with the DRS. We'll stay with this one for a minute, see if he can get the move done. So, good exit, needs to get a slipstream here. DRS wide open, camera famously cuts to a completely different view. And he does get the pass done well before the braking point there. And Scotty trading places. Fourth and fifth. Matt is now dropped out. Oh no, I think he'd already dropped out of the DRS of Hepburn. So Scotty and Island Boy, and then you've got Hobo was trying to catch on to the back of this DRS train to help pull him through the grid. So Connie and Lister seem to be keeping that gap stable at about the 1.3, 1.4 mark. That is closed up now into the DRS of Hepburn, which is going to help and defend from Scotty down the straight out of turn 11. Looks like Pint Size has retired in the pits. Oh, Moylan's had a spin. I wondered why he was dropping down the order. What are you doing, Moyland? You've won the GP1 Drivers' Championship and you're doing a Lewis. So it's on his 1.1, 1.3 off a Lister. Not really making any headway on that, but they are pulling a gap now back to Hepburn. And gap to Hepburn's now 3 seconds. Hepburn being in front of a DRS train goes all the way back to 8th place now. It's got Dara looking to make a move up the inside of Hobo. Hobo pulls it back round the outside and keeps the position. Nicely defended, Hobo. That is now right on the back of Hepburn. Scott is into the pits. He's had enough of those softs. But he takes a look up the inside into turn 1 and gets the move done on Hepburn, so he'll now be trying to chase down Johnny and Lister out in front. Hoping his mediums will go a bit longer than the softs. So Scotty is coming back out in 15th onto the mediums now, so he'll be looking to make the most of his fresh mediums against guys around him, although their mediums are only 7 laps old, so although he'll have a pace advantage, it won't be massive. Go back as Dara's looking to make another move on Hobo, as Hobo goes for a move on Island Boy and gets it done. So gains a place whilst defending from an attack behind. As Dara's up the inside of Island Boy. And then Tomo Robbo follows Dara through as well. So Lister and Connie Hepburn have all decided enough's enough of the softs. So that's promoted Matty to the lead at the minute, with Hobo currently sitting in 2nd. Dara does look a bit closer this time to Hobo as they come up to turn 11 for the DRS straight. What's Hobo got to defend from Dara this time round? Hobo's lost out to Dara on that one. And there's the McLaren behind him all over his back end. Saw if there was a bit of contact back there. As Island Boy comes into the pits as well. Make his first stop to get rid of those softs. So Zodak is currently the only driver. There's definitely contact there. Hobo's lost out to Tomo Robbo. So currently Lewis and Scott is out. And that's a full safety car. Whilst this is on the safety car, I've just got to go and set something, so be quiet for a couple of minutes. Right, and I'm back. Let's try and work out what I've missed. But looks of it, quite a few pit stops. So Lister's now back in the lead. Sonny Stokes in second. Matty's in third. Tomo Robbo is in fourth. James Owl is up to fifth. Dara is in sixth. Lewis is in seventh. Hepburn in eighth. Island Boy in ninth. Zodak in 10th. Hobo's down in 11th. Frenzy is in 12th. Moreland in 13th. Scarito in 14th. Craig in 15th. Decky in 16th. Crooksy in 17th. And Mrs. Carl in 18th. And by the looks of it, the only one not to pit, at least not pitted in the last couple of laps, is James, who's still on the hards he started with. So I think he's going to suffer again on the restart, because the hards are a nightmare to get warm, and with the way this game restricts power when the safety car's coming in, Dara and the other McLaren back into the pits again, swapping on to the medium tyre. So using that to get the soft tyre out of the way. 14 laps should be doable on the mediums. So I imagine they're aiming to go to the end now on these tyres. 14, what am I talking about? It'll be 16, but then you've got a couple of laps, or a lap at least under the safety car. Which will possibly be in at the end of this lap if the car passes up to the queue. Not spotted it saying safety car coming in this lap. This car's just coming down. Should just catch up. That's a late call. Safety car in this lap. This is not going to have much time to back that pack up. Let's wait and see how the restart goes. This is still weaving. Keep an eye on any penalties that pop up for contact behind the safety car. And this has gone now. And he's not had a great restart there. He's under attack into turn one from Matty, who's got it done. Now Lewis passed him as well. James Al looking very feisty there on the hards. We've got them up to 10% nicely under that safety car, so I retract my statement about technical struggling. So we've got Hobo getting past Odak and Moyland. Passing frenzy. Hepburn's got past James Al. James now looks to be under attack from Island Boy, trying to go around the outside. Can't quite get it done. It's a three-way battle at the front. Got Lister, Matty and Lewis, as Lewis goes up the inside and takes the lead of the race. Now Sonny Stokes has just come past Lister and Matty to take second place. Didn't see that one coming. Matty's passed Lister. So Lister's gone from first to fourth in the space of a couple of corners. He's done the Charles Leclerc. And Moylan's now passed James out as well to take him up to 7th. James has now dropped back to 8th. He's lost a few places off for the restart. Craig's just been passed by Dara. And then gets back past Hobo's past Hepburn, take him up into 5th. Ireland Boy's got past James out. Lewis has pulled a 1.2 gap at the front to Johnny now, using those soft tyres to their full advantage, but he is going to have to stop again. Those softs won't last to the end. Hepburn's just past Moylan to take 6th place. He's close. Frenzy's right on the back of Zodak. Zodak's made a move on James out. Oh! Zodak's round. I don't know if James would have picked up any damage from the bit of contact they had there. Matty's now got past Johnny Stokes. Whereas Hobo's looking to put a move up the inside of Lister, but can't quite make it work. Holland's now up into 6th and gaining on this battle in front. Or in front of him rather. The soft tyres have got the advantage over the mediums at the minute, but they'll only be going for another couple of laps before they start dropping off massively. Currently Lewis has got the fastest lap, which will be an extra point again for Ferrari, which will help in their championship battle. As Hobo does make the move on Lister with the DRS in the run up to turn 12. Johnny Stokes looks to be staying with Matty, although not quite close enough to make a move at the minute. Lewis has pulled a 1.3 second gap out front now, so Matty won't have the DRS to help him defend from Johnny as his softs start to wear off. Johnny closes up into turn 1, not quite close enough as Moylan's got past Lister. Lister's fighting back on the exit of turn 1. Moylan's managed to make it stick into the S's. That is now in the DRS range of Lewis out in front. On Lewis's side starting to go off now as he pushed too hard on him. So Matty will have the DRS to defend from Johnny. And they've got a 2-second gap back to Hobo, who looks to be under attack from Moyland. As Moyland does go around and gets it done before the braking zone. So I'll be expecting the soft runners to make another stop. So that'll be Matty and Lewis in first and second, and then Moyland and Hobo will come in fourth and fifth. With the pack being this tightly packed, it's going to drop them quite a way down the grid. So for all the work they've done so far, they'll have to do it all over again. James Howe currently sitting in 11th on 17 lap old hard, so I get a feeling he'll be going to about lap 22 to dive in and get the softs on. There's Island Boy and Mrs. Carla in the pits. Lewis has not quite broke the DRS. Matt is past Lewis, so I missed that. I'll say, I'm not the greatest at this commentary thing. So, Matt is past Lewis and has nearly broken out of the DRS range. Connie Stokes still sitting in third. Moyland 1.7 behind. Seems to be closing in. Hobo sticking in the DRS range of Moyland, and then Lister's hanging on to the back of Hobo. As Dara goes for the move up the inside of Hepburn into turn one. Hepburn's fighting back into the S's. Lovely camera angles, not showing you any of the actual action. And Hepburn's going to be under attack from Tomo Robbo on the DRS. We've got Zodak into the pits, fitting a set of mediums now. This has managed to make it past Hobo into turn 12. Connie's sticking on the back of Lewis and Matty. Penalties here are going to come into play as well at the end of the race. They're closing in with the DRS into turn one on Lister, but a little bit too far back at that one. As Hepburn's into the pits, putting another set of softs. We're looking to try and drag those out to the end now. So Johnny is a bit closer to Lewis this time around, but Lewis has got the DRS off of Matty, which is going to help him defend still. Now it's gaining. Hobo defending again from Dara. Hobo has become like a different man when it comes to racing. These last few weeks he's been putting in some really good battles with people. And he's into the pits. So Lewis is losing a couple of tenths through the S's to Matty. Johnny Stokes is gaining on the back of Lewis there. He's a little bit closer this time into turn 11. If he gets a good exit here. It's got a yellow flag. We've got, I think that's Zodak running slow. So that would. So we've got another safety car. The question now for the guys on the mediums. I think everyone's going to come in for a set of softs now. Take softs to the end. I've seen how much more pace a new set of softs have got over a new set of mediums. I think you'd be mad trying to stay out. I'll wait for everyone to come out of the pits and then I'll run you through the grid again. James Howard literally pitted the lap before, so he'll have possibly lost out a little to people, but they'll all be on the same age tyres now pretty much. We're going to have a 6-lap sprint to the end. So penalties really are going to be important at the end of this race now. I think the grid is going to be so close. So now the pits stopped are completed. You've currently got Matty out in front with Lewis, Johnny Stokes, Moyland, Hobo, Lister, Hepburn, Tomo, Robbo, Dara Smith, Frenzy, James Al, Scarito, Island Boy, Decky, TTC, Craig and Mrs. Carl. So Island Boyd's decided to pit now, which is going to drop him to the back of the grid. So we're currently on lap 23 of 28, and it's only the second safety car of the night. I was expecting a few more for USA. Controller. So the safety car in this lap. And everyone is on the soft tyre. I don't know why I'm putting that controller down. So it's Matty for the restart this time. And he's gone. I'll be pushing to try and break that second gap to Lewis, create that second gap to get out of the DRS with Lewis behind. As Lister's going for a move up on Hobo. Hobo again defending the outside. Becomes the inside in turn 2. And manages to hold him off for another. It's got to be about the 8th time Hobo's defended round that corner. Hepburn now under attack from Dara. And my PC seems to be having an absolute head fit, so I've lost all the stream. Lister now under attack from the McLaren. Lewis is about half a second behind Matty in front. Just want to be half a second behind Matty behind, is he? As we've got Lister having a poor exit from turn 20 there. Dropped him down now to 10th place. Under attack from Scarito into turn 1. Lewis has closed up on Matty at the front. He's got it down to 0.1 of a second. That's Hepburn retiring in the pits. So Lewis has now dropped just over the second back, but I think he was in the DRS range. DRS isn't enabled yet, is it? We've had a safety car. So Johnny and Moyland are right on the back of Lewis, who does keep edging just outside of DRS range of Matty in front. If Johnny can stick with this pair, with the penalties, he's going to inherit the win here. Lewis has managed to get the gap back to under a second now. But Matty does seem to be pulling away slightly here. And Matty's taking the fastest lap. Dara on Hobo, as Hobo fighting back this time on the outside of turn 2. Sticking side by side. Massive corner cut there by Dara. Should be handing that position. Oh, he has handed the position back to Hobo. Now Moyland has DRS on Johnny Stokes, who's got DRS on Lewis, who's got DRS on Matty, so it's turned back into a DRS train as Hobo's out. What's happened to Hobo? This late in the race, that won't be another safety car, but his car is parked with only three, or was parked with only 3 wheels on the DRS straight. My laptop is going mad again. Let's try reopening that. So Matt is still out in front, Lewis is just behind, and you've still got Johnny Stokes and Moyland. And now the McLaren getting involved in this battle as well. So penultimate time down the DRS straight. Can anyone get a move done? McLaren going up the inside of Moyland there. Gets the move done. So it's right on the back of Lewis. Sorry, Lewis is right on the back of Matty here. Johnny's under attack. Is that right? And that's the McLaren round. That looks... Oh, I can't tell if that's rain or not. I don't think it is. So the final time now down the DRS straight. Lewis has got the run on Matty here. Gets the move done. As Johnny Stokes and Moyland are battling. Moyland's looking to go around the outside into turn 12. Gets the move done and then tries looks for Matty. That's a bit of... I'm guessing that was a decent because it looked like we had contact there between Moyland and Matty, and it looked like Moyland was having a bit of a spin, but then he appeared perfectly fine on track. So Lewis has now opened that gap up with everyone fighting behind, and he's got a 1 second lead. And then we've got penalties still to come into this. Moyland looks for dive up the inside into the final corner. And as they cross the line, due to penalties, Johnny Stokes takes another win. Lewis picks up second, Matty in third, Moyland in fourth, Dara in fifth, Tomo in sixth, Scarito in seventh, James Owl in eighth, Frenzy in ninth, Decky in 10th, Crooksy in 11th, Lister, unlucky, drops all the way down to 12th place. Mrs. Carl in 13th, Craig in 14th, and Island Boy in 15th. That was a mouthful of a race to try and follow, especially when you're half asleep. Still waiting to hear from Hobo what actually happened to him on that straight. To do the important screenshots. That's what I need. Alright, I do apologise. The end of this is going to be quite brief because I am shattered. So I will catch you all next week. I believe the Constructors Championship is still open, but I will confirm at the start of next week's stream for GP2 what the situation is with the points there. If you have liked the stream or in any of the streams that come out on this channel, please drop a like and a subscribe, and I will catch you all next week.